Here's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about Oshi Push, VRoyale, and VCard. The purpose of this video is to try and help you guys make the best buying decision for what kind of game you want to get into. First off, I just want to say they're all good, but for different reasons. All of them will support whatever creators are involved. If you get Oshi Push, you're going to be supporting people like me, people like FaZe Connect. If you get VRoyale, you're going to be supporting Mary and his crew. If you get Gamer Subs, you're going to be supporting all the Gamer Subs creators. If your whole goal is just to support your favorite creator, guess what? You kind of can't go wrong. Just get whatever one they're in and you're good to go. You might be asking yourself, what is the difference between the games? Oshi Push is a positional based card game, kind of like Marvel Snap or anyone who's ever played the My Little Pony card game. You're fighting over locations in this game known as platforms. You're trying to get to 1 million subs. There's things that you can do to move your characters around, to move your content around, to force your opponent off of things. It's all about where the cards are physically on the table and what areas you're fighting over. VRoyale is kind of like a blend between Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! When it comes to complexity. You're trying to fight your opponent using your VTubers and their lore to reduce your opponent's sanity to 0. A lot of very unique mechanics, and they really strived to make VTubers themselves stand out. VCard is pitting streamers 1v1 with mascot and support cards to aid them in a round of fights. First 1 to 5 wins. I clearly have to put out a disclaimer here. I am partnered with Oshi Push. I have play tested multiple sets, things that aren't even released. I'm gonna be in the game. I'm an affiliate. I'm trying to make this as unbiased as I can, but I am biased. I just wanted to make sure that was very clearly stated. So how are we gonna compare them? Well, there's a few categories that I really want to go over. First, we're gonna talk about the gameplay. We're gonna talk about their art. We're gonna talk about their price, and we're gonna talk about what kind of community and community support is currently around the games, and a little bit about what might be coming. So first off, I want to talk about VRoyale. VRoyale is the card game made by Merryweather Media. It's got a bunch of Astroline talents as well as a bunch of indies. It's probably the most complex game out of the 3. Every card has a lot going on with it. They really tried using their lore, making it feel like how you would interact with them on stream. By Merryweather's own admission, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Crossed with Magic. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's fast-paced. There are definite combo shenanigans that you can do, and it's gonna be a meaty game to play. Each VTuber feels like their own character and has unique mechanics. It's not just like, oh, you're playing this kind of deck. If you were running Merryweather, he would feel very different than playing Lumi, even if they were both in the same deck with each other. Merryweather would always feel like Merryweather. Lumi would always feel like Lumi. They are always going to have very specific characteristics. You only have 30 card decks, and it has a really interesting rarity system that goes along with it. Not like the card rarity, but the fact that you can only have a certain number of rare cards in your deck. So like a super secret rare, you can only have 1 of. However, you can have as many commons as you want. I thought that was interesting. I personally kind of like that. It makes it so if you get a really nice card, you can use it and you don't have to worry about trying to get multiple copies of it. And one other thing, this is important to point out, is you do use multiple streamers within a deck. This is not true for all of the games that will be shown here tonight, which is a great segue into Oshi Push. Oshi Push is, again, positional based gameplay. You're fighting over platforms. You're trying to get subscribers. There's different locations. There's movement in the game. It's not just I attack you, you attack me. There's 3 separate types of cards. There are persona cards, which is the character you are playing as. If I was playing Oshi Push, I'd be playing Pippa or Tenma or any of the other FaZe talents that are in that first set. And then platforms are the things you're fighting over. They get their own little deck. And then your regular cards is the entire rest of your deck. And because of that, that opens up a lot of very interesting avenues to play the game. It feels like a nice meaty game, but not too long. You make 40 card decks. You can have 3 of any card. In my opinion, of the 3 different types, if VRoyale has the most card complexity, I think that Oshi Push has the biggest potential for making decks, especially with stuff that is coming down the road that I have seen that I unfortunately can't talk about yet. And as mentioned, it's my favorite type of game. It's why I'm such a big supporter of it. It's why I'm partnered with them. It's why I won't shut up about it. It's great. Now we have VCard, kind of like a series of one-on-one battles. The first to 5 wins. It has a really unique flow that I didn't expect just looking at the cards the first time. I've watched a couple of streams now of people playing it and realized it is simple on the surface, but there is absolutely a bunch of stuff that you can do behind the scenes or deck building. I don't think it has as much as VRoyale or Oshi Push. You get to use streamers and their mascots. That's a nice touch. I love to see the mascots getting a bunch of love. They all have art, they get foils. It's fun to see the community aspect of the game appear. As mentioned, it's first to 5 wins, so it's a nice quick gameplay loop. It's 50 card decks, 4 copies of cards are allowed. However, it does need some work with the rules clarifications. I know they're already working on this, so I would expect this to improve quickly. It is just something I wanted to point out. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the art. So we're going to start off with VRoyale. Art is kind of subjective. I don't really want to try and sound like I am being an art snob. So instead of me talking about the art, I'm just going to show you a bunch of the cards. These are pulled directly from their website. I do want to point out that the astute among you may notice that there are some model pose art on the cards. That has been pointed out, and this has been addressed. Mary has already publicly stated next set is not going to use model art. The unfortunate reality is that the partner they were using went bankrupt and set them very far back. They lost the majority of the resources and they had to do it out of pocket. They did the best with what they had, and the next set is going to be fixed. I feel really bad for him. I mean, anyone who's worked with Mary or their team or seen what they do, they know that they do exceptional work. Everything they have looks amazing. I fully trust Mary that any sort of problems like this are just not going to happen for the next set. I hope that VRoyale does really well for them so that we get to see what that next set will look like. Next up, we have Oshi Push. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the artwork that I have to show you for Oshi Push is sample art. It's not in the best resolution. And in fact, a lot of the Oshi Push art is in the process of being updated. I'm just gonna show you a few slides of what the current art is. It's got a nice simplistic style. As mentioning before when we were talking about like the kind of gameplay, all the cards are a lot more simple, but because they're more simple, there's a lot more deck building shenanigans that can occur. Actually, that's a great way of putting it. VRoyale is very much about the power of individual cards, and Oshi Push is how they come together. And just to show you what the new cards will look like, we debuted some retail art not that long ago. These cards that are here on the screen, the ones that say debut are the Kickstarter versions of the cards, and the retail ones are going to be the new updated cards that will be what they are going forward. Let's look at VCard. VCard has exceptional art. I really like that most of it's just full art. It looks fantastic. But that does bring us to a very important part of this whole equation. How much does stuff cost? VRoyale is the only one of the 3 that lets you buy booster packs. It's $5.49 for a 5-card booster or $50 for a 10 booster pack box. Oshi Push is $100 for 24 packs, 11 cards per pack, and VCard is $81 with anyone's discount code, 28 packs, 10 cards per pack. From a straight per card amount, I think that VCard wins, but there's too much more going on for a card game than just like, oh, you get this many cards per dollar. It's not quite the same. VCard does not let you get booster packs. They were very explicit about this on stream. You can only buy VCard in booster boxes. I don't know if that'll change later. I don't know if Oshi Push will change later. We'll see. Now, that being said, we need to talk about the other stuff. I'm talking about the accessories, and boy howdy does Oshi Push have accessories. Actually, that's an excellent question, No Smoke. I'm gonna answer that right now. Only Oshi Push has starter decks. The other 2 do not. Oshi Push has playmats. They have 2-person playmats. They have card sleeves. They have card boxes. They have premium deck boxes. They have metal versions of the Persona cards that you use. They have custom acrylic tokens, and they have a starter deck. VCard has a decent amount of stuff. They have some really cool card binders. Their card sleeves look fantastic. And then, of course, they have a nice playmat, some nice boxes and things. By the way, I want you guys to know, I bought all of these. I have one of everything you see on the screen coming to me to show you guys on stream what you're getting. I really do wish that VRoyale and VCard had starter decks, I do think that that is something that would really benefit the game. It gives people a point of entry. I did not find any accessories for VRoyale. If anyone from the VRoyale team reaches out to me and says, hey, actually, we have this, I will make a pinned comment addressing that. So next up is what I actually think is one of the more important categories is community support. And we're going to start with who I think did it best. Oshi Push. There is an official Discord. There is a tabletop simulator version of the game. There's actually multiple tabletop versions of the game. I showed this off last stream, but the tabletop simulator for Oshi Push has the rule set built into the tabletop sim in a little flip book that you can just look through while you're playing the game. That's awesome. They have the starter decks for free online that you can just print off and play. They have their own website and they have Twitter. Now, that being said, VCard also has a website. It also has Twitter. I did not find an official Discord for VCard. I don't know if that's just part of the GamerSupps Discord. It might be. If so, I will amend this statement. They do, however, have a tabletop simulator version, and that is available for you to test out the game. VRoyale, same kind of deal. Has a website, has a Twitter, has a tabletop simulator version. It actually has two of them. There is one that's purely just for deck building that has like a really nice layout, and then there's one for actually playing the game. Just thought that was interesting. There is a Discord coming soon. So those are the 4 categories that I wanted to go over. I wanted to talk about all these games. I wanted to give everyone kind of an idea of what these games are about. And hey, if you want to support me, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, I am partnered with Oshi Push. You can use my link in that pinned comment or the description, but I do think that all the games have merit. For all the tabletop sims, just go to the workshops and search the name in Steam. It'll pull up instantly. You'll find it.